Hello, this is Rigby, and this is my tutorial for Party Planner Trek 80% No Motion. So, first thing first, the character you want to use in this run is Bowser. He saves a lot of time in Normal Raceway just by being him, essentially. So, once you get control of Bowser, you want to make your way to the end of this island over here, part of this Goomba. This starts a side quest, or I guess it's kind of mandatory, it's not much of a side quest. And once you're finished that, you want to come over here and talk to the Toad. Starts the first minigame, Lumber Tumble. And minigames, I mean, it's first reset putting them on. It's pretty hard. You just want to push. There we go. Push your rivals off. It's even though Bowser is the optimal and definitely what you should do when you're in the run. This minigame is relatively hard with him because every character has pretty much similar hitboxes, and that includes Bowser. But what makes Bowser special, I guess, is his size. He is so much larger than everybody else, but his hitbox isn't big to compensate for that. So you'll have issues where like it looks like you're pushing them, but you're not, and you'll just die. Another issue is Bowser's size. He is because of how massive he is, you can't really see that well if you're pushing up. Like if I go push Boo over here, like you can barely see him, right? So if you like try to push too hard, you'll end up falling yourself. Almost died there too. Like I can't see Toadette or Mole at all. There we go. And if you take too long to push them up, then like they'll start running away and it becomes difficult. So this is a minigame that's definitely worth practicing. And there's like a huge variance to like how well you do versus like how bad you do in Lumber Tumble. It's definitely a minigame that's worth investing a lot of time into. There's also like some RNG elements of like how the AI will move, and you just have to react to it. So once you've beaten Lumber Tumble, this is the tide shell that spawned earlier from 7th side quest. So you want to put that up and we head back to where the Goomba was earlier. And that in. I'll also be having a written doc as well of this route to reference, so you don't have to pull the video every single time either. So once you hand that in, there's this empty bottle. This is pretty much a free mini star. Just text smashing. And the next side quest we do is talk to this yellow toad. And that will start a side quest chain where you just pretty much come over here. Take the box from Kuba, and then you go back to Toad. Very between Lumber Tumble and the next minigame is pretty much just a mashing A button simulator. Okay, so when you get to this fork in the road, you want to come down here first, because this is Koopa, who will have our next minigame, Granny Getaway. This is another minigame that's worth practicing too. If Lumber Tumble doesn't reset your run, this might, So basically, you want to try to push the CPUs into the rocks as much as possible. This is actually a really good one. Like, right there, I just killed before the bridge. That's, like, ideal. It's okay if you don't. Like, if you... I'll try to, like, let them live past the bridge. At least some of them. So for the rocks, you just try to push them in the rocks and hopefully they'll just stay there and die. But for the bridge, it's pretty easy to kill them. Just push them in the wall and just jump to safety at the right time. Anyway, after the bridge is a bunch of rebels, they all died. Easily. What you want to try to avoid is get into this part of the minigame. Because if the minigame's not ended by this point, look how long it's taken before I could actually ideally kill anyone else. There's no obstacles down these stairs really until here. So that's like a lot of time lost. So if there's anything to practice, at least practice finishing the game before those stairs. And then you could probably practice finishing the game before the bridge. Oh, hopefully it works out for me here. Sometimes the CPU will jump a lot, like they're kind of doing now. They're all alive. That is... If they jump a lot, then there's not much you can do about it, because this minigame is... Like, casually, this is a baby minigame. Like, all I have to do is jump. You don't get stun locked for nearly enough time in this version, compared to, like, Mario Party 6's version. So, like, as you see here, Toadette and Pauline are gaming, and look how much time that's lost compared to, like, when I killed him in front of the bridge. Or even before the stairs, right? But sometimes you just get unlucky. They just jump or don't die. And if you do put them on the rocks, you do risk dying yourself, so it's kind of like a risk-reward thing if you want to like go for it and put yourself at risk, because dying in the minigame is also rough as well. So once the minigame's dealt with, we start this side quest here, talking to this Banana Goomba, and move on to our next minigame, Domination. Domination, easy minigame. You just mash faster, beat the easy CPUs. Anyone can do it. Though for speedrun purposes, you don't want to be mashing too fast, because this minigame waits for everyone's dominoes to fall. The easy CPUs will maximum get 46. Like, as you saw in the preview, 46 is that was the best they could have done. So what I do is, at 6 seconds, I'll mash. And then, like, my mashing speed, which is not good, but it'll end up being, like, right past 46, probably like 48 or something. If I start mashing here. It's like a consistent way to, like, get around the same ballpark every single time without mashing too fast or losing the minigame. $48, yeah. So, like, if the CPU's got 46, I would just barely beat them out of... And it's like that all the time. For whatever mashing speed you're doing, you could probably play around with, like, when to start mashing. I'm not a good masher, so 6 seconds, that's the best I could do, 6 seconds. So, with Domination done, the next side quest was... It's not really much side quest. You just come to Crying Goomba, talk to him, and he'll give you a mini star. There's really nothing else for you to do here. So, now we backtrack to this barrel. This barrel has Spike in it. By helping him, we free him, get a mini star, and T will assist us for the boss. And this is the only ally we're getting in this board. Okay, it's Lakitu. There's a Lakitu in every board. He'll ask you 10 questions for 10 mini stars. In the written doc that I'll have like the answers for it, so you could reference that whenever you do runs, because it's hard to remember like this and like 4 other Lakitus, all the questions. The first Lakitu does follow like a pattern, like the questions like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2. I'm not really a big fan of what they did to Lakitu's voice in this game. So listen to this, like 50 questions in a run is the hardest part. Okay. The fact you're finally down here. We should be missing, yes, 6-star mini stars almost done. So next, we cross the ship to this treasure chest Goomba. This spawns treasure divers, while this toad here spawns trampoline. So once we cross that, we come to this little mini island over here where both mini games are. So start on trampoline. Trampoline, it's a straightforward mini game. You just kind of wait for the CPUs to land on the spike and hope you don't land on yourself. I just try to like jump on their heads a bit so they're not in my way too much. Like, the CPUs do try to like kill themselves, so as long as mini game goes, like the worst they are killing themselves, it's like I got 19 seconds there, which is not really that great. Typically I would get like 20 end at 24, which is pretty solid. Anything above 20, but it's only like a few second time loss, really. At worst. Okay, this is a very interesting minigame. Because this minigame, like I've seen a lot of people struggle with this minigame because like CPUs suck and understandable. But this minigame is actually very consistent if you do the same thing every single time. And whatever which chest you grab or like how you move is dependent on where you spawn on this minigame. I had taken the liberty to prepare some videos ahead of time for this minigame for each spawn. So, okay. So in these videos I'm Spike. So this is going to be starting from if you're spawning in the third section, or third spot. So what I want to do is like, the first two chests I grab are the two big ones, the two left side big ones, I guess. So I got the first big chest here, kind of move past the shark, and then I immediately swim down to the second big chest, while dodging the blooper and shark in the way. And the way moving is like pretty much like how you want to move in position. Like, it's definitely worth practicing each of the 4 spawn points for this minigame and remember the route, because the routes are very consistent. With this one, you'll end around 25 seconds, which is ideal. 24 is not bad either. So chest up, and now after bringing the second chest to the surface, I want to swim down past Ninja and aim for the small chest over here. Doing that, trying to dodge what I can. Okay, now when that's done, I want to kind of like get between Ninja and this blooper. I don't get hit, obviously, and I also don't want to like delay Ninja any longer either. It's probably okay to push him a little bit like that, yeah, just so you don't get hit. And the object right now is Yoshi's about to grab this chest over here, and he's going to drop it due to oxygen levels being low. So I want to be there in time for catch it, and Toad will eventually make his way to this chest, and he'll bring that up while I bring that up. Grab the chest. And then Toad finishes with 20. Okay, that was 26 is actually very good. But like, if you get like around 25, 24, that's very solid for that spawn point as well. Oh, 26 was really good. Yeah, this one is if you're spawning all the way at the far right. Immediately, you want to swim straight down for this chest that's right below you. Like, you're going to want to clear these two immediately. So once we bring this first chest up, I'm going to swim back down to grab this one. Kind of like move up. I'm not a fast master at all, so if like I move around the shark, I don't think I could make that. And then grab the small one. And now, Ninja is about to get hit and drop this chest. You want to be there to kind of grab it. I push him up so he gets hit by the shark faster. Grab the chest. Try to swim around him. There you go. You'll see dropping this chest, you grab that, well, Toad brings that one up. And that should be around 25 seconds, yeah. If I had, like, sharper lines, I may it will make that 26, but if you get hit, you kind of, like, things get kind of dicey. Because if you get hit and you delay your where it's supposed to be, like, Toad would have brought up that chest first, and then he would have been able to, like, get in the way of that final chest. Like, let me show up. So in this instance, right, if I got hit earlier and slow to pick that chest from Yoshi, Toad would have been able to get this chest up and then be in your way, and you don't want that to happen, and that's a lot of time loss. So it's important to, like, not get hit, or so you be on time to where it's supposed to be. And lastly, okay, this next one is actually for if you spawn second or first. They both use kind of the same route. So it's the same as when you third spawn, is you grab the first two big chests. You don't have to be, like, super fast, because Toad's about to get hit 2 more times, and on that second time, you want to be there to catch this chest. So Toad got hit once, so you want to hurry up, grab this chest, bring it to the surface, and be in spot to catch this chest from Toad. There you go. And once that happens, it's literally the same deal. Toad's about to run out of air, and I wanted to be here so we could catch this chest when he drops it. And then he brings that up, and that's a 27. For the left side spawn, 27 is, like, typical. Like, this, it's faster by, like, a second or two to spawn on the left side. So, like, if you practice those 3 movements, you'll get the same result every time. Okay, so I guess in this instance, I'm first spawn. Yeah, I could probably make that, but, like, I'm not a good matcher. I'm not even try. Whoa, this is gonna be a little slow because I'm kind of cutting my movement too much. Probably because I'm Bowser. Like, the thing I said about Bowser's hitboxes is kind of true for, like, all minigames. Like, it looked like I was gonna bring the chest all the way up. Yeah, that was incredibly lucky because I didn't do anything, really. It was kind of gamed. So, even though I messed up, I was still 27. Like, left side spawn as general is kind of, like, easier and faster. Just because of, like, Bowser's hitbox, like, when it looked like he was up the surface, he wasn't, right? So it kind of, like, messed me up a bit. There is, like, a little bit of a faster route that uses Spike, which is what I typically use. But it's, like, makes this boss much harder, and it's not worth doing. Especially if you're starting out. Okay, so boss time. This boss uses only Spike as an ally. This boss is actually really easy if you have an ally. Even though the CPUs aren't good at all, that shouldn't affect this fight, really. Okay, so you want to grab as much shells as you can. You don't want to take too much from Spike because you do need him to throw some shells. Like, this is a good number for Spike to have. Spike, or what? Yeah, Spike is pretty much on a suicide mission here. He will run straight to that whirlpool. There it is. So you don't want to shoot whatever. When the CPU gets caught by the whirlpool, they usually get off, like they'll always get off 6. Sometimes they'll get off 7. So as long as the CPU gets, like, 6, it does not matter if they're in the whirlpool or not. Even 7, it's kind of okay. like spike it out only for 6, and not possible. If you just mash Charge Content, you should usually get 12 shells off, which is, I mean, it's good. It's what you would expect if you get 12 shells off. Like Spike has 7. He even lived, which is a nice little bonus. Okay. This is gonna be like a 3 cycle, which it's what you want. It's what you'll probably get. 3 cycle is easy to get when you have 1 eye. So the same deal, collect shells. Get at least 12 and you're good. And Spike should get at least 6. Yeah, 14. Spike has 7. No, this is good. If you want to like try to keep Spike from dying, you can kind of like get in his way to prevent him from moving toward the whirlpool. Sometimes he'll just juke you and go in the whirlpool anyways, but it doesn't matter for personally if he falls, so I don't really care too much. Like as long as you get a lot of shells, then and Spike gets like a moderate amount, then you're good. So basically, the TLDR of this fight is have Spike at least 6 shells, and you have at least 12 in cycles 2 and 3. And you're good. The next stage is Wiggler. Wiggler is kind of a straightforward stage. There's really nothing to worry about on the Wiggler map except for platform peril to be scary and the boss. Because most of the stage is running around doing side quests and then 2 mini games. And especially considering how reset heavy like Goomba could be with lumber and granite. Kind of nice to have a not too much of a threatening stage afterward. So once you start the stage, you want to run all the way here, grab this challenge letter. This spawns a bunch of stuff that gives you mini stars. One of which being at Wiggler head, right here. If you press A, you get a 3 mini star, drops from the sky. Next, you want to talk to Tourette and start a side quest chain. And then you will also talk to the screenshot guy and start another side quest, which spawns a bunch of wooden logs that you'll be picking up all over the map. Next, we come up here, talk to this penguin, get another mini star for free. Which will then allow us to use Wiggler Bell, which will give us, or which will open up another mini star for us later. There are 7 of these logs here. There's 7 of them throughout the map, so this is the first one we'll be collecting. Next, talk to the pink shy guy. Continue that side quest we start from Toadette. Okay. Now after that, we want to run all the way back down here. Move to this Wiggler. On this space, you press A again. Another mini star for free. Come over here right before this intersection over here. Pick up the second branch. And 2 spaces past the shop. Like, I like counting this particularly because, like, you can't really see the camera. So if you, like, hold down and try to react to where the mole is, it'll just, like, move. You just move ahead and just kind of have to double back. So he's 2 spaces at the shop. 1, 2. Talking to Mole is gives you a free mini star. Like that's the theme this level. You just talk to people, get free mini stars. And Mole will help us for the boss. And now 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces after that is our 3rd branch. And 1 space after that, we talk to this piranha plant. Watch this cutscene, and then we just get another free mini star. Now the game, so this stage is kind of like more chill compared to mini games and all that from to do from Goomba. Our 4th branch is right after that. And now we have the next 10 set of questions for Aki 2 for 10 mini stars. So first is 2, then 3. Again, I definitely have it written down in like the doc format for this, because it's hard to remember like 50. Not much. I mean, we played so much of this game. Oops, that was... I got it myself. Building Lakitu questions cost like quite a bit of time, and the menus in this game aren't super great. Like I can move freely now, but there's like kind of a delay from when the question shows up versus to when you could actually like input. So like I'll be spamming down because the answer to the next question is 3. So I'll be spamming down as much as I can. And it took like several seconds before I was able to actually input anything. So sometimes I press A too early thinking my down input's coming through and it doesn't. And I lose a question and it's annoying. Anyways, 2 spaces after Lucky 2, we got our 5th branch. Okay, now we actually get a minigame in this level, but this minigame is kind of like still at the timer scenario, so there's not a whole lot you could do. Search thief though. If you basically like halfway through your falling, if you press A, that's where you kind of like do to get the golden baskets. It's kind of one of those like, depending on how tall a character is, like I don't know, it's like a little weird, right? I'm used to like short characters because I play Spike a lot, and so like I think I have to be like closer to the ground than I really am, you know? Okay. It's also worth noting, like I was kind of like explaining and just playing around, but the highest I've seen CPUs get, the minigame is about 11. So if you pass that and you're safe and think you're going to win for sure, I would advise not playing to the end because this minigame has like a buzzer beater kind of mechanic where after the timer hits 0, if this ball's still in the air, then the minigame will wait until those balls land before the minigame finishes. So if you're playing, especially if you're on the inside, if you're like playing Dunkin' Baskets on the top or whatever, and the buzzer beater moment hits and the CPU throws a ball, if the ball hits an occupied basket, it will either just stay there till it despawns or just bounce around and you're waiting like extra time. So by not playing at the end, that's like less balls that are in play, I guess, for the buzzer beater. And the CPU will just dunk the basket and it'll just end faster that way. So once you get past 11, stop playing, you'll save time on average. It's like the only time save you can really do that minigame, otherwise you just wait up 30 seconds. So once we finish Letho, we make our way past the shop to our 6th branch, and immediately into another minigame. This minigame, outside of like Get the B, is like also a big source of time save. You want to get more coins in the rivals, and then have the minigame end. So ideally they would die really fast. Like, I'm just collecting coins ahead of time, just to get as much as possible. Like, Pauline died there was nice. Toad's dead. See, Donkey Kong just kind of run straightforward, right? I win the minigame, so that's fine. And the minigame finished. Sometimes the CPUs are just bad, they'll just fall off, and that's great. If the earlier they fall off, the more time save you will save, and you can save a lot of time here. Up to like 10-15 seconds. You could also try to go for kills, like jumping on their heads, cutting them off. And that's really great if you get that. It's also kind of risky because you could die yourself. And if you don't have a lot of coins, you're just going to lose the minigame. So that's like another thing, practicing, just getting some kills, jumping on their heads. And that minigame down, we talked to this purple toad over here. Continue that apple pie side quest. And now our 7th and final branch is right over here. So now we talked to Toadette, get her mini star. And now we get her as the ally for the boss. And now we have 7 mini stars remaining, and just this green giant left. And we have 7 branches, 1 mini star per branch. So we're just kind of mashing it for a little bit. As we watch a painstakingly slow process of handing in 1 branch at a time to get our 7 mini stars. Yeah, unlike the last boss, this boss actually does take a little bit of work. And is also like pretty big RNG element to work with, whether how Toadette and Mole kind of act, as well as how the bee, the boss of this level, acts. But this kind of RNG is like stuff you could react to, and you could kind of play around it a bit, to an extent. So you know, help us if we get bad RNG. It's just a little bit annoying. So basically, you want to just ground pound the bees as much as possible. And see, sometimes they miss, like Toadette just missed wildly like that. It's also important to try to not get in the way too much. Because when I get in like Toadette or Mole's way, then they may not, they'll just miss the ground pound entirely, and that's like one less ground pound to work with. Or you could get squashed like I just did. But it didn't matter because B was 1 hit away from going to phase 2 anyways. Phase 2 is where like the real RNG kind of kicks in here. You will either go left or right. Or just dance in the middle like that. Yeah. So like, see, this kind of like really unlucky. B's just going back and forth. Kind of want B to stay in one spot. Particularly the spot where there's 2 people. Like, right here, this is actually starting to get good. Until he left. Yeah, so it's like here, this is bad. Like, he's kind of saying where Mole is and not where me and Toadette are. So overall, I'd say that's bad. So best case scenario, he stays on one side, and it's usually the side where the 2 people are, you and a CPU ideally, and just kind of stomp on them for a bit. You could also try to jump on those like bees in the middle to get to the other side if the big bee's there and you kind of want to like rush it. That's a viable strategy as well.
Clear.
Okay, next level is Rainbow Galleria. This is also kind of a tough one. And it's really tough because like the boss of this level is definitely a lot more RNG, and there's not much you can do about it. And there's a minigame in particular that's very easy to lose. And on a good pace, that's definitely like nerve-wracking, right? Even in no reset scenario, like if you're doing a relay or something like I am, then this is definitely like probably a scary part. Anyways, first thing, once you get control, we come over to the Mama Penguin. Those are our side quests of saving our kids. And now we talk to this Elevator Koopa, start his side quest. And the first minigame is all the marbles. Pretty easy. When you start, they'll be like, you just run through the marbles. There's really not much to it. As you see where Mario's running, there's like kind of a little bit of an opening. You kind of want to run two of those openings because you push the least amount of marbles there compared to just like forcing your way through all these marbles like this, right? It's slow. So do what Mario's doing and kind of just run to the openings. Like there's an opening in front of me, so I'm just going to run that and head to the right, like this, and then. There's like a little mini path you can see, and you just push the marbles aside, and minigame's pretty free. And it's definitely not a minigame to be super scared of in terms of like speed or anything or time. Okay, when that's done, hold LR to fast forward this elevator cutscene. I think the only time in this run where you could actually do that for a cutscene. So next, you want to move 2 spaces from here. Talk to this Raffle Toad. You'll start a side quest. And now our second minigame of this level is Unfriendly Flying Object. Okay, this minigame is pretty consistent as well. If you do the same things, you'll get the same result. So first you want to drop this down here. And now like this one, I try to line up the far 2 spikes on the right with that tree in the background. Like the tree between those 2 spikes, I should say. And both CPUs will just die and kill themselves. This similar thing, I want to like let between the 2 spikes. I probably should have like paused for it. Oh, sorry, didn't run out of time. So basically, you want to flip over that. I'm actually going to show it again during the preview because it's hard to explain when like the timer's going on. I would have lost the minigames flat out. So like, so the far 2 spikes on the right side, line up with the tree in the background, where the tree's between those 2 spikes. I was a little bit off. Actually, I'll let the timer restart. There we go. And those 2 CPUs will always just jump me. That was incredibly unlucky, but I'll deal with that later. So for this, I try to get like the in between the left side spikes with that platform and flip them over. like you might have noticed that time I got a smaller platform at the end versus like a bigger one in the actual playthrough of the game. That after this part right here, this is RNG what kind of platform you get. A small one or a larger one. So if it's small, you just want to flip them over here. So ideally you want to get a bigger one. But if you get a small, you flip that. You flip the small and then flip like another one. I am actually throwing so hard. My world record fails this minigame so hard. Like I'm just trying to go like really fast and like a little bit off. But yeah, this minigame's definitely worth practicing because like it's not hard once you get the strats down. I cannot believe that. Yeah, apparently it's very easy to win too if you mess up. But like once you get the strats down, it's pretty easy. I probably should have prepared a video for this. Like I did with Treasure Divers, just so I could take time explaining without worrying about the timer, but hopefully you get the idea, practice it a bit. Like, with good RNG, that minigame should finish around 21-ish seconds, 22 in that ballpark. With a little bit worse, with not good RNG, it'd be like 19. So around 19 and 22, if you could get that, then that's a good fight for you. Or a good minigame. So next, we talked to little baby penguin over here. Got a mini star. Move on to the Skoomba. Like this section is simply mash A, press the first option, get your mini star, and move on. Now we got Goomba helping us for the boss as an ally. Next is Yellow Toad, same thing, mash A, pick first option. Here's Burrow, Pocket Burrow, first option. Get our mini star. Okay, Dr. Green Shy Guy. He wants help to ride the escalator with him, which we do. This same thing, you press first option, mash A, you get your mini star. Next, we talk to the 4th place shop. It's such a side quest. Move on. Okay, this part for this route is very interesting because there's 2 potential minigames you could do. Like you could either do Squeaky Shakedown. I don't particularly do it myself, but like that's an option. The other minigame you could potentially do instead is like right over here, Shadow Play. Both are very like similar in times, so it's kind of like just preference of what you want. Like if you're not good with Shadow Play, then you could just do Squeaky Shakedown. I'm not super great at Squeaky Shakedown to like finish before the timer ends, so I just do Shadow Play. So whether you do or don't do this minigame, you move on over here. You talk to this 2nd penguin. And then you talk to this blue shy eye. And you pick the 3rd option. Mushroom. Again, if you... Also important, after you do that, do not grab this yet. I know it's all shiny and all that, but do not grab this shopping bag yet. So, if you did not do Squeaky Play, then you'll be doing Shadow Play instead. It's straightforward, you just mash the shapes. This is another one, like if you choose this minigame, like this is another one you kind of need to practice, like where your shapes are on the wheel. And like what shapes make the formation in the center. So you can do it like fast. Let's have not a whole lot to it.
Start. Round 1. Round 2.
Like, I spent a lot of time practicing this minigame for, like, the tag team mode, so I just happened to be really good at this by the time I started running this game.
Finish.
Sometimes your partner will take the long way around the wheel to get to the object they need to get to, and it's a little annoying, but that's about it. Okay, next you want to talk to this gold Goomba to get his gold ball. And now the yellow try to get the markup stickers, but you also get a mini star out of it too. And now we backtrack to the elevator and we get that shopping bag that I said to skip earlier. Because by the time we pick it up, we're forced to take the elevator down, and we cannot use it again. Take it back up, right? So if you make the mistake of grabbing this shopping bag early, you have to run up the escalators. It's a long way. So now we move 2 spaces past the stamp station. Talk to this yellow shy guy. Hand in the shopping bag. Get a star, or however you want to pronounce it. Zitar? I don't know. Which is like continuous side quest chain. Next is more of this guy. It's 10 more questions. I don't have my notes up for like the Vacuum questions, but I think I remember. These questions going like quite a while. And again, like watch out for like any. Yeah. Again, watch out for like any menu like buffers. Or I guess lack of buffers. Like even on like spamming down, it took like a couple tries before it actually like went through. Because you have to wait a couple seconds before. Alright. So with that finally done, we talked to Mom Penguin, now we save the children. Get a mini star. And we're back up to the 2nd floor through this escalator. Skip this cutscene or speed it up. Talk to the snippet here. We hand in the Zitar. Dar. Get a mini star. But we don't do anything about it in this category, so it's fine. Now we hand in the gold ball we got earlier to this toad. Get yet another mini star. And now we have 2 mini stars left and 1 minigame left. And this minigame is low-key the scariest part of the run because it's pretty far in. It's like halfway point. Maybe a bit after half. And one wrong move, you just lose. There's snowball from Mario Party 6. Basically just those snowballs. As you see, like, I just got hit there, like, if you look how much they're holding the balls, like, they're pretty bad at this game, but at the same time, like, it's very easy to hit me. Are they hitting me? Okay, well, just bad. So, like, you could just... I've seen some people try to play this minigame safe. But, like, my advice is basically just YOLO it, just play. Because I see, like, how long they're holding on the balls for, like... There's no guarantee that they're not even aiming for me, right? So if you just kind of play around them, you're just going to get, like, even if you do win, you'll just have a slow snowball. So what I do is, like, when the name starts together, snowball, run down and start like throwing them. Hope I hit something. And if you have great aim and finish the minigame fast, then great. But you could just like get wrong position and just die. Like I almost ran into that snowball because Pauline or someone just threw it straight ahead for no reason. I'm gonna try it.
Start.
Also, Yukiki's being in your way is also an issue.
Finish.
As the issue is, I don't know if you saw it, but I pretty much had Toad squared on, but one of the snowballs from Yukiki's collided with mine and just canceled that out. So, like, unfortunate stuff like that can happen, and it's scary in that minigame because just one hit from you and it's dead. So, like, no matter how scary that minigame is, it's still not worth playing scared because a lot of things go wrong. Just get in position, start throwing balls, and hope nothing hits you. My advice. Yeah. Now we have the boss here. Is the Rocky Wrench Mole, or whatever his name is. This mole is basically RNG. He's going to pop up from his little hiding hole, and you just hit him as much as possible. But how long he takes from the kid up is kind of luck. Let's go this. Like, so far it's all good. That was not so good. And then, like, I had to hit the wrench to make sure they don't hit me and stun me. Now this is good. Now he's starting to kind of kill me. There we go. Like, that phase 1 was kind of trolly, because I was trying to, like, stop the wrench from hitting me, but he popped out while I was doing that on the other side of the map. And then he just popped down by the time I was ready to hit him. So, like, you know. And there's nothing I can do about it. Unlike the B, where you can kind of, like, maneuver around. You can't really do that here. Like, for phase 2, he's gonna use the big wrench here. Like, a big rule of thumb for, like, a good phase 2 or a decent one is to not have him throw 2. Like, this phase 2's actually been pretty good so far. Like, that was a good phase 2. Because of how that phase 2 went, if I got that in the run, I'd be like, okay. It kind of mounts out that terrible phase 1. And I'd rather have a kind of bad phase 1 than phase 2. Because if you start doing that second big wrench, it's a little awkward.
Clear.
Like, from this point on, the run becomes a little less execution heavy compared to the rest. Because right now we have Roland Raceway. And Roland Raceway is in my opinion, kind of like a glorified auto-scroller. There's not a whole lot you could do. Most of the minigames in this level is wait out the timer. And the other minigame is basically like, you wait for the CPUs to kill themselves. But for this first, you go to Toad and start this whole cutscene. But first, before we move on, you run back 3 spaces, yeah. And you get a challenge letter. This challenge letter only appears if you are Bowser. This is kind of why we use him for this route. It's a nice, easy, free mini star. Otherwise, it's like a big blockade Bowser does here. But since we are Bowser, there's no blockade, we move back. Grab this mini star for free. It's really fast, and we move on. All the way to Wiggler. We talk to Wiggler. We get a bunch of Wiggler milk to deliver to Toads. 5 of them, to be exact. So we'll be doing that as we move around the board. First of these Toads is right over here. And each of these Toads will have a camera, so you could easily just see who they are. So on camera Toad. Next, we talk to the Cell Shy Eye. He needs help kind of setting down the banner. So choose a second option here. This way. And again, before we move on, we backtrack. Because doing that side quest starts another side quest. All the way back here. Right to these Goombas. The banner that they're holding earlier is now missing. So we start it and kind of move on. All the way to this corner, there's this second camera Toad we deliver milk to. And this Shy Guy that was sitting on the banner itself, we get that mini star. And Shy Guy will be our ally for the minigame. Or boss, I should say. And 3 spaces over this way is Cold Front. Cold Front, it looks like you can kind of like interfere a lot with the CPUs, but not really. Like you see, I can't push Mario or anything, right? Most I can do is jump, but like it's not even hindering Toadette that much. So like the goal here is just stay alive and hope the wind blows CPUs off. That's really nothing else to that. Like all 3 of them kind of survive that. No, lucky. And that's not hitting anyone, obviously. So this is not a good one so far. Toadette ran right into that, so lucky me, I guess. Okay, there's Mario. I just need Mole to die. Like, see, I'm trying to like get in his way, but like it's not even doing anything. I did win. Okay. That was that ended at 16, which is kind of rough. Like that was bad luck for this run. Like none of the winds were blowing where I wanted them to blow for the CPUs, but it's fine. It's basically you just kind of like stay alive and just wait out for the CPUs to die. Okay. If for whatever reason you're not playing as Bowser, like there's a spike route for an example, and people like to use their favorites. If you're not playing as Bowser, that challenge letter will not be there at the beginning. So instead, you talk to this guy. I'm not going to because I am Bowser. Now we got that challenge letter. But this is the substitute if you're not Bowser. There are some characters you really shouldn't use. And that's basically characters that show up from boss fights, with the exception of Spike, who has his own route. The reason for being who are those characters, like say for Toadette, for an example. Toadette won't help you with the B, because you will be her, right? So I'll probably like write down a list in like the doc form of the route of who you shouldn't be. Alright, next minigame. You backtrack all the way from Cold Front to this guy. And this is Rinks Riches. It's nothing fancy here. I don't go for those big snowballs, typically with the red coins in it, because it can get easily sniped, and sometimes these CPUs gaming you lose the minigame if they have a lot of red coins, and I don't risk that. You can easily win just by collecting the yellow ones around. Aside from that, it's literally just wait out the timer. 30 seconds. No fast draft for it. See, like, there's a lot of yellow coins kind of spawning. CPUs are just running around in circles, right? So, but not focus on the red coins. Don't worry about it getting sniped. And I'm already at 16. I've actually once lost the minigame here because I've had like 2 little snowballs following me and stun me back to back, followed by a big one, and I just lost the minigame because I never got to actually move. So there's bad luck that can happen that can cause you to lose, but like it's rare. Nothing to really be scared of every time you play. With 3 bridges done, we run all the way to the end of this, right past this little item game, and talk to camera code number 3. Give him his Wither Milk, get our mini star, and move on to the next camera toad, which is right after this little jump pad here. Yeah. Camera toad number 4. And now we got the next minigame is Treetop Treasure, which like range searches, it's the coin minigame, you just wait out the timer. Again, there's not really a strat for it. You just kind of collect coins and win. This, like, as Bowser, this is another one of those that's, like, kind of weird when you're Bowser. Like, it's not bad, but, like you saw that, like, one of those coins, I just kind of almost faced through it. That's because of what I mentioned during the Lumber Tumble about Bowser's hitbox being so much smaller than he is. Like, look, my arm's, like, going right through that red coin, right? And my head just went through that coin over there, too. It's kind of weird, like, the coin is just going to face through just because of how his hitbox works. After Treetop Treasure and after these jump pads is the 5th and final Hammer Toad we deliver milk to. And after we're done with all our milk toads, once we get this fork in the road, we turn in, hit the pit lane, and that's where the next Lakitu is. Another 10 questions. This is like kind of like my favorite Lakitu section, just because I kind of like the pattern that is question, or that the answers are to the questions. It's like 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3. I kind of like that pattern, personally. Once with Lakitu done and 4 spaces past the pit stop, our last minigame here is Slappy Go Round. It's pretty easy. You just kind of like ground pound. Like you could just mash A and just ground pound. Fast slaps you win. That's it, just mash A. Essentially. Sometimes the CB will actually get a good jump in. But if you react, you can just jump over it. And then another himself and ends it on the same time, so. Actually, I got a 53 there, which is. I don't think I've gone a 53 before. I usually get 52. With that minigame done, now we finally come full circle and deliver the banner to these Goombas. And that is 30. And next is the boss. The boss... It technically kind of requires the most skill. But at the same time, like, it's straightforward just because you're forced to wait on your ally every single round of this fight. So even if you do poorly, as long as you finish before Shy Guy finishes, then you actually don't lose time. Even if the minigame itself kind of takes like more skill compared to just mashing A or jumping on Bs. So as long as you have a general idea of how to play this minigame or pretty decent at it, to finish before Shy Guy, then you're good. You can even make mistakes later on, and you can probably still finish before Shy Guy, so... Sometimes Shy Guy is really slow at flipping them as well, and it's kind of like a time waster for no reason. Like in this instance, Shy Guy is actually doing pretty well. Shy Guy's usually not this fast, honestly. Phase 2, this game gets a little harder, but Shy Guy sucks, so you should still be able to do it. If you're not really good at these kind of games, probably worth practicing just to make sure you don't lose to Shy Guy. It's... Okay, I technically still beat Shy Guy there, but that was... Well, Shy Guy's actually really good right now. Shy Guy's never this good. Oh, why can't I get that in the run? Okay, now Shy Guy's kind of going as slow as I expect him to.
Finish. Clear.
Okay, one stage left. Bowser's Keep. Bowser's Keep, where any good run goes to die. To no fault of your own. And there's only 3 minigames left of the run 2 before the final fight, so almost done. And the first of those minigames is right now. The moment you take one of this cutscene finishes and you take a step, you're kind of forced into this minigame. Because if you say no, you can't go anywhere. Right? So you're forced into this minigame no matter what. It's a fast minigame at least, so it's fine. This, kind of like the slappy go around, you just kind of ground pound, mash. Try to kill him as fast as you can. Oh, that was like really good. I never get like battle that good in my runs. I think my record finished like 48 or 49 or something. I got a 44 once. That was not fun. Sometimes the CPU will just game and just dodge everything. So you just kind of hope that they suck and just kind of mash A, get as much gold as possible. So with this fork in the road, you turn over here, right? There's the elevator up, and talk to this yellow Koopa, the Mecha Koopa. You're helping them out. You want to hit at least a 3 or higher here, so there's 8% chance to actually not lose time. I did not. If you get a 1 or 2, then you have to like you get hit by fire and then you have to do it again. It's really slow. But once that's done, you get your mini star. You move on all back here to see the big boy hammer bro, the Vault Keeper. You talk to him to start a big side quest. And this side quest is mandatory of fighting Imposter Bowser, regardless if we have 30 mini stars or not. So upon hogging in, we move back. Up here, we'll spawn Boo and start his side quest. So once we do that, we again backtrack a bit more, and then take this turn instead, and start this minigame. On again, off again. The second minigame of this board. This minigame is pretty straightforward. You want to drop these spike balls on your opponents. You want to try to aim for like their head. They tend to just not dodge those as much. But sometimes they're just too good. Like I've lost a minigame on multiple occasions just because... good. Just because the AI doesn't die. Like 12 is kind of on the slow side. Sometimes they just dodge everything. And sometimes they just stand there and take it, you know? After the minigame, you come over here to this hammer bro, and you pick the third option, Raceway, for another free mini star. Okay. Next, we backtrack all the way back here to the byway, and talk to Karen at the shop. We end up getting stuff. It's continuing the Vault Keeper Gate side quest. We get a skeleton key, to which we then come over to this door and interact with it. Continue the side quest on. Next, we move right past the shop, out of the byway, take the left and up, straight to Act 2. The final Act 2 of the run. Final 10 questions. Confession, this is like the only Lactu quiz that I actually do not remember off the top of my head. Just some quiz I just don't remember. The other four I pretty much remember. Like the questions, like all the answers. It's not this one. Final hit. Fine, that is the final Lakitu done with. Now this is an interesting part. Like, we talked to Rosalina here, and Rosalina is a showdown minigame character, and we don't do any of those in the run because their minigames are so long to get them as an ally. But in the case of the no motion route, we get Rosalina for free because Rosalina's minigame is a motion minigame. But since we're not playing with motion minigames, we get Rosalina for free. So we get one additional ally for the boss fight that the motion route does not get. So that's kind of neat. Now we come up here to where the Boo's cave and kind of finish the Boo side quest. Which we get him as an ally as well, and a mini star for our troubles. And next up is the last minigame of the run. Before the boss. And it is a notorious one. This minigame is pure RNG, and you just hope for the best. And this being the last actual minigame of the run, it kills a lot. I've had so many record pace runs die to this. Until my current record got a really good one, so it's going to be hard to beat because of this. So, you just pick... You just take your pick and hope no one else picks it. Nice. Also, worth noting, the CPUs will just pick whatever at random, regardless if the option they're picking is good for what they need or not. God, we want to do... I think there's a couple good things here for me. This is... I'm just getting bad options. What do I do with this? I'm glad I'm not getting this in a run. So yeah. So basically you want to pick the best thing possible that would work for you. Actually, should have picked up, I guess. Didn't matter being picked anyways. Because since the CPUs just kind of pick things at random, it doesn't really matter. Like, they're not going to try to counter you or anything. My God. Yeah, this is what you have to look forward to if you run this game. Getting really unlucky here. Wow, this is not a natural run. Okay, I'm gonna pick the big one that fills all the squares. There's one thing I've noticed though, the CPUs don't pick the one I just picked, the full square. The CPUs don't pick that as much. I've seen them pick it like once, maybe twice most, out of all my attempts and anyone's attempts I've seen. So when that shows up, it's definitely a good idea to pick it. Don't be scared. They don't pick it that often. Aside from that, they just pick everything else blindly. So. Finally, that painful minigame is done. It's a fun run, I promise. Just hard cross blocks, be prepared to lose runs to it. But they can also like make or break like good runs too. Like my record pace, I didn't think was going to record until hot cross blocks. I got a really good one. So like I've had like 20-second golds because hot cross blocks went so well. Yeah, once you're done the minigame, you talk to the Goomba again and enter the pipe. And once you're into the pipe, you come over here, talk to the Koopa. We got this lever from finishing on again, off again, so we pretty much hand out to Goomba and change direction the byway. Get a mini star, and Koopa will indeed join us now. So we'll have like a 3 ally boss fight. Next, we go to this door again, and now we can actually open it. And now we move on. Talk back to Kamek. Kamek will give us a mini star. And we'll spawn a Dry Bones, who is right down here. Right past that coin minigame. He'll give us a mini star as well. And now with that done, we can finally finish that vault side quest, which will give us 5 mini stars, which is what we're missing. So talk to him, and now we enter the code. The code is 96. So no, it'll always be 96. So we open the vault, get 5 mini stars, and now we're at 30 in the the vault cycle is also done at the same time, so the final boss starts. This boss fight is kind of more relaxing compared to the rest, because if you're at this point to a run, that means you're past hot cross blocks, and there's a good chance that if at a decent one, then you're kind of chilling, because the boss fight is not too difficult.
Start.
So you essentially hold A, wait till you glow like max, like this, and then you release to get 5 off. So you do that while dodging Buster's attacks. Like I was able to get that hit off while dodging the fireball. I'm actually kind of surprised. Move back, dodge the claw. Like in that phase, he mostly does fire attacks and claw attacks. The claws could go either like high or low, so you kind of want to like keep your distance from that. And each of the fireball he does it during his attacks homes on each one of your party. So you got to keep track of like which one's homed for you yet or not. That's why I was surprised he got a hit off, because he hasn't aimed. He aims for the player last, I've noticed. But that could just be coincidence. Okay, phase 2 is pretty simple. When Cam comes to the top, kind of spawns bomb bombs, you just kind of go between them and just charge up. Same deal, just wait for 5. And he gets fireballs. Dodge them. When Cameron runs through the side like that, bullet bills spawn. So same deal as bombs, you go kind of between the rows, and I was lucky to get that hit off. So now, phase 3 is Epic Fire Attack. You want to stay out of the center because of that attack particularly during phase 3. Oh, that was lucky. I know that too. He also has a claw attack here, like, it was like, that's okay, I got hit off right before it hit me, so I think it was, oh, that was actually a really fast Bowser fight. I never got a chance to talk. I never had a Bowser fight that good.
Finish.
So, really, the name of the game is dodge Bowser's attacks while charging up. And while you're charging, you're also really slow. So you kind of want to, like, instead of dodge, it's sometimes best to just not be charging and just move around to save a location.
Clear.
But that's pretty much the run. The timer doesn't... The run technically doesn't stop until, like, after this cutscene. But this is a really fun run, and compared to other Mario Party games, there's not a whole lot of RNG that, like, kind of hinders you. Like, it's really mostly hard cross blocks, the rest, and I guess small. The rest is, like, RNG you could kind of, like, work around. In terms of, like, AI and how they move and act. So for the option, you just mash A through this cutscene, and then timer would stop right now. And that is Mario Party Jamboree, 80% no motion. Motion route is pretty similar. I mean, there's obviously differences with motion route, but in terms of overall time, they're generally similar. And my Joy-Cons don't work, so I just want to like focus on the no motion route anyways. Plus, it's the route I enjoy running more. So, that'll be it. Thanks for sticking around this 1 hour of me explaining the run. We'll also be having like an actual dock version as well, so you don't have to pull the video every single time. So take care, y'all. Good luck on any runs you do. Peace out.